Coming at y'all live once again at the Off the Cuff Radio live stream. I just did an Instagram talking about Mama's cooking, destroying Shannon Sharp, and now Shannon Sharp is out of First Take. So y'all can check that Instagram live out there right now. I just did that on the King Beverage Productions page. I'm gonna upload it here so y'all can get my commentary on that. But Eric, what's good, my guy? What's good, Chris J Productions? What's good, man? And I noticed this too. I noticed this that when I do wrestling, there's a lot of. I'm gonna tell y'all something, and people may disagree. Wrestling has a big fan base. No matter how bad this stuff get, there is a big fan base of this, man. How I know? The numbers reflect that. Wrestling talk is big. I mean, even though I've been to going to shows and I've seen a lot of the flies women at these places, I've seen a lot of children, I've seen a lot of regular Joes, I see a lot of hood cats going. I'm talking about even now. Wrestling is a $1 billion conglomerate phenomenon. And I noticed this even with the numbers I do with these videos. A lot of people be tuned in to this stuff. So I figure, hey, let me go ahead and give y'all more of that. Because, sometimes you want to give people different forms of commentary because people get tired of looking at the news. It's depressing as it is. So why not just do this? And I did this video for a reason because I looked at the Dark Side of the Ring, season 4. And it was starring Chris Candido and Sunny, aka Tammy Lynn Stitch. It was very depressing. It was very sad to watch, man, because Chris Candido, for the most part, was a nice guy. He was a nice guy. You never heard a bad story about him. This guy had a big dream of making it big as a wrestler. They had his mom up there. They had his brother up there. They had Jim Cornette, Tom Pritchard. They had sound bites of Sunny up there because, she's incarcerated right now. Now, I'll get on that later on. But overall, this was good because we get to see more of Candido's story. And it was just sad, man. It was just sad what he went through. Because Candido was actually good in the ring. Like, he was actually good. But see, my debut to seeing him was the Body Diners. I thought that shit was corny. And I think what they did was they did that to really... The WWF at that time was going through a creative flux. You had dentists, you had trash men, you had clowns. You bring this dude out here as a fucking body. It's not a bodybuilder, but exercise regimen. Like, that's corny. And that killed his career there. Now, see, Sonny happened to be had to have a lot of sex appeal. So therefore, she was able to move with the times. Whereas Chris Candido, he was stuck with that. And then, while that was happening, while he was going through the motions of being a mid-carder, his girl, Tammy, aka Sonny, was getting tossed up by all the top-carded guys. HBK was hitting it. And I'm going to tell you this. I believe he would have lived if he would have stood up for himself. He would have lived, he would have stood up for himself. But see, because the WWE is a strange structured business. You get far on how far you stand up for yourself. These dudes was smashing his girl. He was a nice guy, but yeah, he was in love with her. He couldn't even grasp it that these dudes was doing that. So it messed him up. Then they went to ECW, and he was shining there. He had a lot more to shine with on ECW because ECW had more free reign. And Sonny was able to show out there too. Didn't Kiss Canyon have heat with Shawn Michaels? Sonny was a whole point Blake. Yeah, they basically bully him out of the WWE. And see, at the time, I'm gonna tell you, if he would have stood up to Shawn and bust his fucking shit, he would have kept his job. See, these guys, but see, at the time, the Clique had so much power, and therefore, these guys were just coming in and they did not want to step on any toes. They want to step on any eggshell because the Clique was running it. And they was testing Chris Candido because they knew Chris Candido was a nice guy. HBK just was straight smashing her, and he was in denial about it. Because they know he wasn't going to do nothing. Now, if he would have knocked his eye straight, he would have stood. But see, one thing about Vince McMahon for sure is Vince McMahon, when you work with the WWE, if you stand up to certain people, you'll get a push. You back down, you don't you get buried. Lesson learned, do not date women that you work with. Look at what happened with Matt Hardy and Lita, Elizabeth, and Randy. Big facts. Big facts. Big facts right there. That shit drove Randy Savage crazy, man. You can see that really playing in the real life from the storyline. Randy took it serious. Matt Hardy and Lita, on the other hand, yeah, same thing, bro. Same thing. But see, the difference was with Randy. See, Randy was a top guy. Therefore, he probably was able to get away with a lot. Matt Hardy was considered an upper mid guy. Chris Candido was just coming in. He can work, but he wasn't drawing. He wasn't selling no tickets like that. So therefore, when you don't have that as an arsenal, or you had it on your side, you don't have no drawing power. China, Triple H, and Stephanie. Yep, another example. But see, the thing with China, she had also what I consider, she had mental health problems as well. She couldn't fathom that. And China was one of the biggest drawing superstars there at the time. Yeah, man, it's crazy. So, no chick, man, Sonny was a pass around in ECW. They passed her like a cheap blunt. They passed her around. And Chris had to take it because he was a nice guy. He was a nice guy, man. I was like, damn, dude. Dang, man. But overall, I liked the presentation. Like it's a sad tale. And Sonny was a straight train wreck anyway, as you can see later on. Sonny was with the British Bulldog and Brett. Yeah, she was around. She was with the Clique. She was with the Heart Foundation. She was with the Bone Street Crew. She was with all them. On a hypothetical note, if I was Eddie, I would have divorced Vicky and married China. No, I don't think so. That's hard to really put out there to say, cause I don't know them personally. You know what I'm saying? I can't really pinpoint that. Sonny was that good in the ring. Sonny couldn't work at all. Sonny was good for being eye candy. She couldn't work no matches at all. To think Sable was a hoe. So, yeah, man. I'm telling you, Sable happened to get in on the good graces with Vince because she was eye candy with Sable with Brock. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But going back to the overall thing, Chris kept on getting hurt. He got hurt twice. Sonny was on drugs. They both were doing drugs. They both heavy was on drugs. You know, when you in ECW, that environment, you gonna do some cocaine, you gonna do crack, you gonna do everything over there because there's no seal limit. But it was sad when Chris came back. He came back to Impact and he hurt his leg there. And that's what led to his demise, believe it or not. It was very bizarre. It was very bizarre how he passed away from an ankle injury. That go to show you right there, man. You gotta heal those bones, man. When you get an injury like that, you gotta heal. You gotta really follow. You gotta really follow what the doctor and the technicians is telling you. Shit. Sable filed $110 million in this lawsuit saying sexual harassment, refusing to do angles. Facts. Sable got them by the nuts somehow. That's how Brock is straight walking in there like he owned the place. Sable must got some dirt on Vinnie Mac. I think Mark Merrill went through the same thing. I don't know. I think he did. I think he did. Believe it or not. But then he saw it was Brock Lesnar. He was like, nope, I don't want no smoke here. Oh man. Now I think the dark side of the ring should be talking about Sable. Nah, because Sable was living a good life. It won't work with Sable because Sable's working the good life right now. She living good under Brock Lesnar. She's good. Dark side of the ring is focusing on people that are either have passed away due to the business, or they went broke because of the business. It don't supposed to have no happy endings. Imagine if Dark Side of the Ring talks about Matt Lita and Edge. I don't think they're gonna do that. They're not gonna do that because number one, you gotta have WWF permission to do that. At the end of the day, you gotta have WWE permission to do that. They ain't not gonna let them do it. Edge is still under contract. Lita's still under contract. Matt Hardy, he'll probably do it. He gonna do all the talking. Edge ain't trying to go back down that rabbit hole because he with Beth Phoenix now. They ain't trying to mess up that bag, man. If anything, that elevated Edge. Edge was cold as shit in 2005. That elevated him. See, they're not gonna go back to that because that's gonna revisit old wounds. There's a lot of content about that out as it is already. They done covered that many times. Jeff Hardy incident at Victory Road. Oh man, yo, Jeff Hardy got a wild story, yo. But see, he's still living to tell it though. So, yo, Jeff Hardy would be a good dark side of the ring, but he's still living to tell it. So, and he's still over. So it won't really work. But him having the episode alone would be dope. But I'm thinking with this season here, it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be way better than last one. You got the Junkyard Dog, you got Magnum TA, Marty Jannetty. That's gonna be a trip. The one with Marty Jannetty gonna be crazy. They need to do one on Rick Rude, yo. They need to do one on Rick Rude. They did one on the Road Warriors. They need to do one on Rick Rude. Rick Rude, his story hasn't been told yet. Jeff Hardy's the DMX of wrestling. No, I don't think he is, though. I mean, because Jeff Hardy's still alive, though. With all due respect to DMX. But I can see a comparison in the way, because, they both have that cult of personality persona. They both brought big money to their respectable ventures. But I'm trying to see, let me see what Dark Side of the Ring gonna be about for this season. Hold on one second, I'm gonna look it up. Of the Ring. There's certain things they're not gonna talk about. The next one's gonna be about Magnum TA. That's gonna be good. I'm gonna watch that one because I'm a NWA buff. They got him, they got Magnum TA, they got hold on, there's some more. Ashley Moss need a Dark Side of the Ring. Yo, you trying to get the WWE up out of here, man. You trying to get them out of here, yo. They trying to cash in on another TV deal. You want them niggas out the paint. Yo, you trying to get Vince out of here for good. Oh. Hell no. They ain't even give her a tribute. They just pushed her to the side. They like, Vince like, cremate her. Get out of here. Hell no, you trying to make that $1 billion bag blow up in smoke. Shit. Her story needs to be told. Yeah, it's gonna be told. It needs to be told, but Vince McMahon gonna fight like hell to not make that happen. Shoot. You really want to open up a can of worms there. But I'm telling you, I read some of the stuff she was saying. I was like, yo, it wouldn't surprise me if Vince took her out. It wouldn't even surprise me. The stuff she was coming with. Woo. I don't think they ready for that, brother. And I'm going to leave it at that. Nah, man, they ain't ready for that one. You really want that? Will get Vince out of here. If they get some real good proof, get some real good people to shoot the footage nice, get the presentation real good, Vince gonna stay in that chair forever. Nah, bro. I mean, she has a story to tell, rightfully so. They gonna fight. They gonna blackball the hell out of it. The same way they try. You notice this? They tiptoed around the steroid scandal because they was like, nah, we don't wanna. We don't want. We want the boss. That's what they call him, the boss, to get mad. The Lord of the Rings. Man, because I read that. I read about her story last year. I said, bruh, they better hope this don't get out there. Shoot. But the overall, man, the Chris Candido joint was good. I liked it. It's a great way to start off the season 4 of Darkside of the Ring. They should do one. I think they're gonna do one on Bam Bam Bigelow. His story definitely needs to be told. Bam Bam Bigelow, the Beast from the East. That's one of the best to ever do it. He went to, what the crazy part about Bam Bam was they try to make him look like a joke when he went to WWF. Because you know the Clique at that time had so much power. He made an event against LT and got a big bag. But they demoted him down the ladder. But when he came to ECW, yo, he was a monster. He was just straight beating people up. Took little Spike Deli and threw him in the crowd. Put Taz through the ring. They booked him like the Beast from the East, like he's supposed to be. Bam Bam was just basically doing jobs in the WWF to get the bag. That's all he was doing. He made the most money of his life at WrestleMania 11. Uncle Bigelow will bust their ass. See, Bam Bam was smart though anyway. He already had built relationships with other territories, so he was good. Plus, he was good with his money. From what I understand, he was good with his money, so he didn't have to deal with that bullshit. But yeah, then see what happened was, man, them dudes let the Clique push him around, but see the Clique had Vince's ear. You know? So they were kind of scared to move. That's why they would start clicking up. The match with him and Taz was great. Yo, they had one of the best feuds in '98, man. I put that up there in my top 5 favorite feuds. Especially when he put him through the ring. That was the first time I ever seen something like that. Yo, going back, those ECW pay-per-views were crack. You know what I mean? I used to order them joints. What were they? $39.99 a pop a month. ECW don't get a lot of its props that they deserve, though. They really don't. I feel like this is just me. For a minute, 1999, ECW storyline wise, matchup wise, they were miles ahead of both WWF and WCW at that time. But see what made the WWF eventually race above the head, above the horses. They went ahead and got Taz. They went ahead and got the Dudley Boys. They went ahead and got Jericho, Benoit, Eddie. They got about 6, 7 different big stars, and that pushed them through the finish line. They had to take everybody talent to compete, because I'm gonna tell y'all this: around July, WWF was July 1999. I think the WWF started getting stale. A lot of people started not really. They looked like it was really stale. ECW was kicking ass. They was having some kick ass pay-per-views. So that's where they started taking talent again. You know what I mean? They started raiding the talent pool. They started raiding ECW. They started going after WCW. Because they needed talent. They needed talent to push it forward. Because, you know, the Austin McMahon shit was getting old. It was getting old. And then that's when they also started pushing Triple H, too. But when they acquired Kurt Angle, it was Kurt Angle. It was the Dudley Boys. It was Taz. Then you had Edge and Christian coming in their own. Then you had the Hardy Boys coming in their own. Rest was history, though. Rest was history. But another thing too, what threw Darkside of the ring off last time was they were competing with WWE. WWE started doing their own documentaries and stuff. And that's what really kind of threw them off of there. But now hopefully they don't have to focus on no competition. They don't have to focus on no more competition. But overall, it was pretty good though. It was overall good. I enjoyed it. I'm hoping for the next one to be dope. I want to see what the Junkyard Dog gonna be all about. That was gonna be a good one. His story hasn't been told at all. So yeah, I'm about to tune in, y'all. I just want to give y'all a little highlight of what was going on with the Dark Side of the Ring. Check that out. The Chris Candido and Tammy Liz Sid special. I'm about to head out. I'm about to give me some sleep. Y'all catch me on the rebound. Peace.